Inhale, exhale. Try to keep your hips forward so you're not swinging. You don't always have to practice like that, but because this is a grounding practice, we want to have a really strong sense of our feet and our legs, and having stability in the pelvis extends that level of stability. So it's good actually to like move, and I think that's a great idea, but let's stay with the forward pelvis for now. Hear those cicadas? It just finally clicked. Like, I've always known that cicadas live for a long time underground, and then they come up every 17 years, don't quote me. And so I've known that, and I never really like looked into it, but I was like a little bit curious, like how is it that I hear them all every year if they're underground for 17 years? And then it occurred to me, like, oh, and I haven't looked this up, but I'm assuming it kind of makes sense. It's kind of obvious to me. Try moving your arms like this. You can sniff your breath in and out each time, or what I recommend starting at least is every time you cross your arms, inhale or exhale, and every time you cross your arms, switch which arm goes up and which goes down. And go ahead and bend your knees. You can't see my knees, but you get the idea. Bend your knees, bring your feet wide apart so you have like what we call a horseman's pose in the Eastern practices like Tai Chi and Qigong. So wide hips, like wide feet wider than your hips, and your knees, they don't have to be right over your feet. That'll give you like quite a bow-legged feeling, which, I mean, I grew up riding horses. There's nothing I'd rather do than ride a horse. But I don't do it anymore for ethical reasons. Life is so crazy. So, anyways, wider now with your feet. And just bounce. And breathe in. And then send your butt back up in space and give it a little shake. It's really good for you. Ground into your heels and just play with pressing off each heel and letting, like a ping pong ball's going from your right heel all the way up to your left hip and your left heel all the way up to your right hip. Boom. So there's a whole line of energy. And sticking your butt behind you will give you access to your sacrum. Your sacrum's about pleasure, enjoyment, fun. And so if we just wiggle it around a bunch, first of all, it feels amazing, as long as you don't have pain, in which case, if you already have low back pain, I would say just stick with whatever feels really gentle. Maybe stick with that forward pelvis, because some movement is good. A lot of movement is almost always something that I regret if I'm in some kind of pain. So here we are. Anyways, give it a little wiggle. You can lean forward on something and shake it. And this is so good for us. It jiggles around all the organs down here. It jiggles around all kinds of stuff that, especially in a Western culture, in a very unique way in a Western culture, it's really stuck. And that stuckness, it's very toxic. So doing this, like doing a twerk or something similar every day, I posted about it on Instagram in January at the beginning of November. I said, if you do this every day for the next 4 years, you might be okay. And I really think that there's some truth in that. I'm just going up on my toes, and I'm leaning forward with my palms very flat on the chair seat, and I'm up on my toes, and I'm just sending my hips back, and that feels really good for me. Your hips are different than mine, so you might have your heels down, and you might just move a little bit. You might stick with the hip shimmy, you might start to floss your shoulder blades. So I'm not doing cat-cow. I'm sending my heart down by drawing my shoulder blades towards each other and sending the back of my heart up towards the sky. As I exhale, sending my spine, my thoracic spine, the part that likes to get stuck, where we have the least bend. It's where we want to be paying attention to, because it gets stuck. And then jaw. A nice practice for the jaw is down, forward like a bulldog, and then back to neutral. And then a deep breath. And sigh out. And then fix your shorts. Wiggle your butt. Lift your toes up on an inhale. Sigh it out on the exhale, let them drop down. Do that a couple more times. Shitty. Hands, toes, feet, ankles, hips, shoulders, titties. Just a little sway side to side. Maybe you want to do that kidney tap thing. Wash ragdoll. I'm not completely letting my arms go. I would if this chair wasn't here, but I don't want to whack my fingers. It feels good to give the back of the body some attention. In fact, bring your shoulders back behind, or your hands back behind to your shoulders. Maybe you do it gentler than I'm doing. I'm being kind of vigorous. Hands to the top of your head, the back of your head, to your neck and shoulders. Just checking that you have a back side of your body. We get really tuned out of the back sides of our bodies, and all of that is really not good for us. It's because we literally need to always be watching our backs in our culture. You know, a sense of mistrust is fundamental to capitalism, because if you don't trust the people around you, you're gonna want to buy things that will help you be safe instead of buy, that's not even the right word, instead of invest your energy into a group of people who will help you, and whom you can help too, like a mutual aid corner. Those are incompatible. So anyways, we don't want to hold on to fear. Notice it. Get good at noticing when you're afraid. Be afraid. Talk to people if you have people you trust. Journal. Voice journal. Dance. Move your body in whatever way. Bike, run. You know, endless opportunities to move it out. But sometimes it doesn't feel good to be a human. And sometimes it does.